So those conference finals sucked. I mean, seriously, we've had some good basketball all playoffs long, and then we reach the conference finals and that happens? Indiana, Minnesota, you should be ashamed that you royally screwed us all of some good playoff basketball.
That leaves us with two teams, a consensus favorite and a team with the best backcourt in the NBA, potentially NBA history. And that's coming from a Warriors fan. Tatum versus Luka, Brown versus Irving, Dallas versus Celtics.
Bang! Bang!
6 topics.
The Eastern Conference champions.
I mean, obviously I'm an Eastern Conference guy. My team's in the East, but I'll be the first one to tell you, it freaking sucked. I mean, there was some good storylines this season. Indiana had a great season. New York looked like serious contenders at times. And Cleveland, well, I mean, less said about them, the better. But ultimately, we knew that it was the Boston Celtics who were the team to beat. But let's talk about how we got here.
After falling short once again last season against the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals, Boston knew they had to shake something up. It was a tough move, but they finally departed with a fan favorite in Marcus Smart for a clear upgrade at the center position in Kristaps Porzingis. Kristaps had injury concerns. People called his stats fake on Washington, but they somehow got him and 2 first-round picks back. They weren't finished there though. Milwaukee gave up their best defender on the team for Damian Lillard, and Jrue Holiday wasn't looking to stay in Portland. With a vacancy at point guard, the Celtics give up Rob Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, and 2 first-round picks for Jrue Holiday. This created the ultimate lineup, the closest thing we've seen to a super team in the league. Holiday, White, Brown, Tatum, and Porzingis. Questions about their health? They keep winning. Questions about their depth? They keep winning. Questions about Derek White's haircut? They keep winning, and both Derek White gets some all-star considerations as well. This team has been unstoppable all season long. Joe Mazzulla coached them to an elite standard. They had the best record in the league, but the real test was the playoffs. Round 1 versus Miami, no Jimmy Butler, piece of cake, Boston in 5. Round 2 versus Cleveland, no Mitchell, no Allen, easy series, Boston in 5. Eastern Conference Finals, Indiana can't close a single game, and no Tyrese Halliburton, Boston in 4. Sure, they've faced injury-riddled teams, but that's the benefit of getting that 1 seed. And if you actually watch the games, you'd realize the absolute focus they've been playing with. It is a new Celtics team, one that is solely focused on that championship. Now let's talk about their opponents.
From the Western Conference, it's the Dallas Mavericks. Last season, they finished terribly after trading Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and 3 picks for Kyrie Irving. Going into the season, there were a lot of questions. Would they be able to play together? Can they start playing defense? And I mean, those questions weren't completely unwarranted. They struggled at times this season. They didn't make too many moves this offseason, but they made one move that would be massive for them. It was during the draft when they traded back with the Thunder and decided to pick Derek Lively. Dallas had a clear hole at the center position, and Lively was a perfect fit. I don't know if they expected him to have the season he had, but he was incredible for them, even earning all rookie first team honors. Dallas wasn't done there though. Instead of looking for more big fish in the trade market, they wanted to go for something people constantly criticize the team for. They got Luka some help. Quality players for cheap, meaning they had made some trades with some pretty bad teams. Daniel Gafford for a pick, great value. PJ Washington for Seth Curry, a first, and Batman, say less. And those players have made an instant impact. Turns out, when you surround a superstar with quality role players, your team does pretty well. Round 1, they beat the veteran Clippers team in 6 games. Round 2, they beat the young exciting Thunder, and in the conference finals, they obliterate the Minnesota Timberwolves in 5 games. They lost game 4, but made up with it with an insane performance in game 5. Luka has something in closeout games. And keep in mind, Luka did it all while injured. It feels like the knee has bled in more games than Ben Simmons has played this season. Kyrie has been perfect in the Robin position, meaning he's let Luka control this team, but he's turned into Batman when he's had to. PJ Washington came up huge against OKC, and Daniel Gafford might be the most consistent player on a team. They have pieces like Derrick Jones Jr. and Jaden Hardy who have shown up. you can make the case that they have better depth than Boston. Jason Kidd has surprised me, and we went from calling for his firing to calling him one of the most underrated coaches in the entire league. And now, he looks to win an NBA championship with the Mavericks, first as a player and now as the coach. But now the real question, who do we got winning the NBA championship?
You know, one thing I've learned since starting this channel is that making predictions is goddamn hard. My NBA champion got eliminated in round 1, and the team that beat them actually made the NBA Finals. So let's try our best and make the best prediction that we can.
The key in this series for Boston is going to be stopping that pick and roll game between Luka and the bigs. Gafford and Lively have been fed all playoffs long, so it will be up to Porzingis and Drew to stop that.
For Dallas, I'm looking for big performances from PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr., not offensively, but defensively. They have the hard tasks of guarding Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and it's up to them to contain them.
But now put the yapping. Who do we got winning the NBA championship? March 1st, the Dallas Mavericks played the Boston Celtics. The Celtics won in a blowout, but one detail from that game that I noticed, Daniel Gafford played 6 minutes. That made me realize that this Dallas team is completely different to the one we saw in March.
Boston have had some injury luck these playoffs, but they've also had to deal with their own. Kristaps Porzingis has been dealing with a calf injury, and the Celtics have dealt with it very well. They will need him if they want to win this series, and I don't know if they're going to get a fully healthy Porzingis.
It's going to be a tough series, man. A tough battle. You and I have been going at this and who we think is going to win, but we have finally made our decision.
Our consensus is
Dallas in 7.
If this series goes to 7, I don't know how many more people I trust than Luka Doncic in the NBA. And right beside him is Kyrie Irving, who last time he was in the NBA Finals hit one of the clutchest shots in NBA history.
I've had this feeling about the Celtics all year long. Dallas will come out strong in Game 1 and catch Boston lacking. Boston will bounce back, winning Game 2. Going to Dallas, they'll trade games once again, and from there, it'll become a best-of-3 series. Boston and Dallas will both win at home, and then Luka Doncic will turn into the clutchest player in the league and blow out another team in Game 7 to win the NBA championship.
Sorry to Dallas fans if we jinxed your team. We're not legally liable for any poor performances from your team in these finals.
With that being said, it's been myself and my co-host Yousuf. Thank you so much for watching, and welcome to the NBA Finals.